guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of Joe Burrow, who's coming back. Game 1. We'll get to that in a minute. Now, this show and every show is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. All right, if you found the show, guys, that's great. Do me a favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. I'm up to 794 subscribers. Now, not really a bone to pick with you guys, but just if you guys could do me a favor. I'm glad everybody in Bearcat Country enjoyed the interview with Melvin Levitt. I'm looking at it right now. I have 273 views on Bearcat Country, which is awesome. That's great. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. That's awesome. I have like 60 on the YouTube channel, and that's kind of where I want the views to go. So if you don't mind, and you're watching on Bearcat Country, or you're watching on Bengals Nation, or you're watching on Bucknuts, wherever you're watching the show, please do me a favor. If you like what I'm doing, go to YouTube, watch it there, hit the subscribe button, change colors, hit the notification bell, give me a subscription, and give me a view. I would greatly appreciate that. All right, let's get into this thing. Joe Freaking Burrow, if you did not hear, was on Cowherd's, excuse me, says his name wrong, Cowhead's show. Now, if you want to watch the full interview, I have it tagged at the top of the Bengals Nation. You can watch the whole video. You might have to turn the sound up a little bit because I was recording it off my TV, but the entire video is there. Now, these are some questions that Cowhead asked Joe that I thought were pretty interesting. All right, Cowhead. Did you and Zach hit it off quickly, or did it take a while? Joe, it was immediate. I think Zach is going to be a great coach for a long time. I'm happy to be in the position I am in to help build this organization. But it's going to be Zach. It's going to be on Zach's back. He's the leader of what we are going to do, and he's awesome. So if you guys saw what I posted on Bengals Nation and Strawberry Ice, Joe's tweet yesterday where he was backing Zach, I said, hey, if Joe's in, I'm in. I still don't think he's a great coach, but if Joe's in, I'm in. All right, now Cowhead. Rehab. How has the rehab gone for you? Joe, rehab has gone really well. I'm past the worst part. I'm starting to feel like a normal human. I can walk around and put on my own clothes, do what I need to do. First week and a half, 2 weeks was pretty miserable. Needed help doing everything, but I'm getting more independent, and it's going to be nice to get some alone time and not having to rely on everyone for a little bit. Here's the key thing. Things are on track to start the season the way I need to. It gets better. Cowhead, some suggest that you won't be ready for the season opener. What's your gut feeling? Deep down inside, what do you feel? Now, this is the part I love. If you got to watch the video. I put this part in quotations. With a cocky little smile, Joe said, I think I'll be ready. I think I'll be just fine. Boom, baby. Take that, Jeremy D. Game 1. Joe Freaking Burrow is going to be back. Speaking of Jeremy D. and my boy, Mike Kyle Jr. What's up, boys?
What's up?
I'm just praying. I was praying. I was just praying. Yeah. I'm hoping he's back, but
he will be. So, Jeremy, I know you haven't been on the show in the last couple of days, and there's been lots of trash talk.
Yeah.
From Alabama.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, Saban's daughter tweeted something out. And,
yeah.
I know you've been chomping at the bit to say a few things about it. So have at it, brother.
This is just the what she deleted her tweet, but nothing gets past the Jeremy D. Meister. Okay, no, nothing. So here is what Kristen Saban Satas said, and I'm guessing she said it kind of like this. If you're not confident to play, then just say it. I call BS on the COVID cases. They're just worried about the QB and want him to have more time to heal. If he's hurt, put in your backup. We did that 5 years ago with our third string and beat you. You didn't see us postpone the rest of the season to wait for Waddle to come back. Bye. I got something for you, little girl. All right. Mm-hmm. I'm sure she's not a little girl, but
she's probably our age.
The Buckeyes have already, they tweeted out right after that tweet that she quickly deleted, that they are 100% ready to play on Monday night, the 11th. This Monday. And it don't matter who's out there, who's playing, who's got COVID and sitting at home. If half of our team is available, we will be playing. Here is what they said. When asked about COVID-19 concerns, it doesn't matter to reporters. We'll have plenty of players. So if we end up having to use our water boy, okay, we'll go to Adam Sandler on this one. If we got to use our water boy, hey, Dave, guess what? You won't get a shower at the end of the game, baby. Well, we'll still get that W. You know what I'm saying? So enough of this mess. All right. Now, Dan Patrick. Mm-hmm. Danny O. Patrick just come out and said 5 hours ago, Ohio State is very close to availability limits versus Alabama, which means we may not have a starting linebacker core. We might not have a defensive line. We may not have cornerbacks. Our offensive line. We don't know. But guess what? We're not running Alabama. We met you guys 5 years ago. Y'all ain't no better than you were 5 years ago. We whooped you. We whooped you with a third string quarterback. So if you got a problem, go read the Ohio State tweets right back at little Miss Saban, and she has heard just as well as her daddy that we ain't running from nothing no matter how many players are out for the Ohio State Buckeyes. And that's all I got to say about that.
So you a little fired up about that? I know you haven't been on for like 2 days, but you feel better? You good?
I feel like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulders, Jeff.
Oh, jeez. All right. Alan Turnipple, my crazy cousin, wants to know where I got this 513 hat. I actually got it in North Carolina. So I get asked that a lot. I haven't seen it anywhere else. That's where I got it from. But we got a first caller here. TC,
hey,
what's up, buddy?
What's up?
What's up, man? On, brother?
What's up?
I had to rethink this off season so far.
About what?
About them bringing Zach back, first of all. I don't think that should have happened, but I figured that was going to happen.
Amen.
And you're right. If we get Joe back first game, we could go to the playoffs if Zach can get the coaching together. We could.
Well, we got to get the offensive line fixed and the defensive line fixed. You get that fixed, we're going to be good. Because, look, if you go from one of the worst offensive lines to, one of the better ones in a year, which you can, and same thing with defense, a line, that changes a lot of stuff. Because I've said this on multiple shows. If you can run the ball and you can stop the run and you can get to their quarterback and you can protect yours, most games you're going to win. That's the key to football, you know? And if you got a guy like Joe Burrow back there, Joe Freaking Burrow back there, he's going to tear you up. Now, one thing I did find interesting, actually, it was a little frustrating with the interview. Not with Joe and not with Cowhead, but Joe brought up the Indianapolis game where he threw the interception and he said to lose the game, which I think's bull. I'm calling BS because it had a 21-point lead and Armadillo backed up 25 feet. So on the DBs or on the wide receivers, that's the reason we lost. Yes, Joe threw a pick, but he should have never been in that position to try to come back and win the game. That's why Armadillo should be gone.
Yeah, and TC, I missed the Tuesday show, wasn't it, Jeff? You've already been over to Lou? I'm guessing this has already kind of been a beaten horse, but
pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm with you. No matter what you may have said, because I'm guessing it was not. You weren't happy, and I'm not happy to bring back the worst defense in the NFL. The team that gave up the 5th most rushing yards in NFL history after recording stats, okay, is just unbelievable to me. And I'm sorry, I'm a Bengal fan through and through. I'll have NFL ticket next year. If I'm already not in Ohio, well, you never know. But
what? Are we hearing breaking news here?
You never know. What? You never know, man. You never know, buddy. I may be coming up there to wring your neck myself, Jeff. What? But anyway, no, I don't like bringing back something like that to end the year on that kind of a defensive note is embarrassing. And I don't know what you think about it, Mike. And then TC, you can go on with whatever, you know.
Yeah, I think that was a bad move on the Bengals' part. They should have just let him go and got somebody else to come in here, because you're like either Jeff said or you said, Jeremy, it's going to be the same result, you know. So
well, not necessarily. I mean, that's not necessarily true. If they get the offensive and defensive line fixed, it's not necessarily going to be the exact same result. I mean, there's a chance, but if you get better players, you have a better chance of winning. So yes, even with bad coaching. Yeah. So Well, we got a couple. Go ahead. TC.
Did they resign? They didn't resign that offensive line coach, right? Jim Turner, whatever.
I'm pretty sure he's gone. I think he's gone, and the defensive line coach,
Nick Eason,
gone.
I was just making sure he is absolutely.
Yeah, Brad. Brad here on the chat says hopefully they'll get the O-line coach from the Lions.
He interviewed today.
Oh, did he? Okay, that's
Yeah.
Okay, that's good, because Crown said their offensive line was pretty good, which. To be honest, I didn't watch a Lions game, so I couldn't tell you if their line was good or not.
Well, I can act like it, but I watched two. So
there you go. That's two more than I watched.
Thanksgiving game, and then one other.
I take that back. Yeah, Thanksgiving game. Actually, I take that back. I watched the Thanksgiving game.
There you go. You watched.
So I watched one, and then if they were ever on Red Zone, I watched them. But I didn't pay attention to their offensive line. It was a freaking Lions.
Is that good?
They say it's better. I don't know.
One game, I didn't think they did pretty good. I thought they did, well, not as bad as our line, but they did average, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
Well, I say the thing is with our line, the problem they have now is with Trey Hopkins being injured, you're going to have to get a guard / center plus a tackle now, which you had to get that anyway, but you got to have a guard. Instead of just getting a guard, you got to get a guard who can play center. And then when Hopkins comes back, either Hopkins moves back to guard, or that guy who you signed moves from guard to center. You know, either or, that's got to happen. So you definitely have to get 2 offensive linemen now. So, which, to be honest, that might not be a bad thing that happened. I mean, it's bad that Trey got hurt, but I can see the Bengals half-assing it and just saying, "Hey, let's get a tackle," and I think we're good with what we have. Well, they have to get a center right now. Billy Price cannot be our starting center until Trey Hopkins come back. He cannot.
No.
So, and the thing is, like Ken and these other guys that come on here, if Sewell isn't there, we don't necessarily have to draft him. You know, if he's not there, which he might not be, he might be, who knows? You can sign guys. You know, it doesn't all have to be fixed in the draft. It could be a lot like last year. And I think the offseason is going to be a lot like last year. Where last year, they concentrated completely on the defense, because Armadillo wanted to switch to a 3-4 and he never freaking played it, which never made any sense to me. But that's what they were designed to do.
Yeah.
So,
good. Yeah, I'm just agreeing with you. Billy Price we cannot afford to. They're saying 4 to 6 maybe weeks into the season that Hopkins could be gone. We cannot afford to put Billy Price at center. Unless we want Burrow just completely gone again and maybe forever. So that can't happen. So that changes the whole draft perspective quite a bit, in my view. I just, and people say, well, wait a second. How can Burrow come back? How can he come back before Hopkins, but Hopkins only tore an ACL. I said, well, it's a lot. I've told a lot of people this.
300 pounds.
Exactly. You've got not only the weight deal, but you also have a center who hikes the ball and then uses his leverage from his knees to push up and block a man. That's something that a quarterback does not have to do.
Plus, you have damn near 2 months difference. You know, Joe Burrow got hurt at the beginning of November.
Yeah.
And Trey Hopkins got hurt at the end of December. It's not exactly 2 months, but it's almost 2 months of rehab and everything that Burrow already got through.
True.
You know, so
but people are just saying ACL, MCL, more damage in the knee than also how, and that's, I've just been trying to explain that to him is
right.
what I'm getting at, you know.
Now,
what you got?
Alan's got a good comment here. What I was saying as far as the coaches go, he said an O-line coach teaches talent how to play together. Now you need talent. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. That this team, everybody wants to get mad at Zach, which I'm not happy with him. But the bigger issue everybody needs to look at is who set the team up. And I don't want to hear Zach Taylor because I don't think Zach Taylor is in complete control of picking his players. I think Duke Tobin is the one who's most responsible for picking the players. He's the one that set up this offensive and defensive line with no talent. I mean, the defense line, if they didn't get hurt, if DJ Reader did not get hurt, it would have been a lot different. But the offensive line, they didn't do anything. You know, so to me, that's on Duke Tobin. And what I was talking, I don't know if you guys saw the show Tuesday. Me and Ken were talking, and he wanted to know what the identity of the Bengals were. And it's Joe Burrow. And I said a 3-step drop because that's all they could do consistently. That's all the offensive line would let him do. He couldn't take a 5-step drop, didn't have enough time. You just take a 3-step drop. Everybody's like, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Well, if Mixon is making his first cut in the backfield, it's awful hard to run the ball. So again, it goes to what Alan was saying. You got to have talent. And that's what I've been saying all year is they got to have talent. They have talent. They just don't have it all in the right spots. The two biggest spots you need talent at is the offensive and defensive line. Perfect case in point, the New England Patriots. You know, everybody talks about, you know, Brady's able to make these guys better than they are. He also has time, and he did not get hit. You know, if Joe Burrow can get a consistent offensive line like Brady did, he could play for 20 years just like Brady has. That's the key to this whole thing. You got to fix that offensive and defensive line.
Well, and I'll just say this real quick, and then TC, I'll let you say what you want to say, and Mike, same way. But, you know, we brought all these guys in thinking we were going to have Waynes across from WJ3 with Bates in the middle and Von Bell in the middle of the field, free safety, strong safety. We were going to have our linebackers. We knew that was going to be a work in progress because they were rookies. And we thought we were going to have Reader beside a healthy Geno. And that's why Mike Brown went up. And Mike Daniels. Well, yeah, he came in a little bit late. But, yeah. And that's what Mike Brown was thinking when he spent all this money, that this was going to be the year. Joe Burrow was going to have a great year. But one thing we forgot about was injuries can happen. So you got to have backups, not LaShawn damn Sams. Okay. You've got to have backups, and you've also got to protect the guy that you just went and spent tons of money on defense to keep people from scoring. And the guy you're trying to get to score is getting nailed or creamed every time he throws the ball. It can't happen that way. And we just did. We tried. It looked good on paper, but at the end of the day, I don't know what you think, Mike or TC, whatever, but you know, it just didn't all pull together for me at all.
Well, like I said, it's just to win in this league, you have to have consistency in all areas, no matter if it's the offensive line, defense line, special teams. Now, I will give the Bengals credit on one thing, though, is they did keep Darren Simmons. That was the best thing they've done.
Oh, he's one of the best special team coaches in football. I mean, somebody said on here multiple times that he should be a head coach. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't gotten a shot at it. So what else you got, TC?
I just want to comment on that. Let me comment on this. If say the offensive line, say this is in the future or something, we have a good offensive line. Imagine Burrow having time to throw the ball.
Right.
Oh, man.
Imagine Mixon having holes to actually run through. I mean, Mixon has never had an offensive line since he's been here. I said this Tuesday. If he has a line, he's going to get 1,500 yards. He could get 2,000 yards. If he has a line, he's got to have a line. He can't make the first cut in the backfield.
Exactly. And like they said about Burrow, a lot of the analysts this year, he's holding on to the ball just a second too long, just a half second too long. Well, you know what? I'm sick and tired of watching all these other teams. Their quarterback sits back there, he moves to the left a little bit, or he rolls around to the right, and he's just standing there by himself for 6 seconds. I'd like to see one play where Burrow, unless he was running around or completely just, the play was broken and he was trying to make something out of nothing, where he got 6 to 7, 8 seconds of just sitting around looking at receivers. It's never happened for Burrow that way, and it's got to start happening. I'm not saying we're ever going to get 8, 6 seconds, but you know where I'm getting at with it. It's got to be fixed.
Look, if they get Sewell, if that works out, and he's as good as they say he is, which I don't know. Like I said, I've never put my eyes on him except for on tape, and on tape he looks pretty good. But lots of guys look good on tape. But if he is as good as they say he is, and you can go out and sign a guy, the guard from New England, I can't remember. It's Ken said his name. I don't know if he can play center or not.
Dooney?
Yes. I don't know if he can play center for a little while until Hopkins gets back. But if you do that, or if you get Trey Waynes, in the second round, which I don't know if Waynes is a guard. He hasn't played center. And we tried to make a center from Ohio State and Billy Price, and that didn't work. So
he's a different beast, though.
Yeah,
he might.
Right. So he might work out if you can get those two. Dude, I'm telling you, if you get those two, if it works out, which it's a big if because the way the draft may or may not fall, we can fix our line, and then you can get guys in the later on in the draft and in free agency. Anything else, Thomas?
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal if you don't get them. There's always, other good players in the draft, and there's always third round.
Oh man, Jamar Chaney should be there. I mean, there's a lot of talent.
Well, this draft is full of offensive and defensive linemen. There's a lot of good ones. A lot of good ones.
We don't need to stretch.
Exactly. All right, TC, man, appreciate you. Thanks.
Yep.
TC, you take care, brother.
Well, I did see. I did post this in Bengals Nation real quick that the Bengals did miss Sewell in the mock.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't mean nothing. But
I look, if all you guys put your weight in a mock draft, I mean it's a mock draft. It doesn't mean anything. I mean, that doesn't mean how it's going to work out. I mean,
right.
Anyway. All right. Brad said maybe draft a Bengals guard if he decides to enter the draft, which he says he is. Yeah, that's Hopkins. Or not Hopkins. Yes, the guy got thrown out.
Bearcats guard.
Yeah, he's a left tackle. I think that's who he's talking about.
Oh, okay. The guy
got thrown out of the game. I cannot remember his name.
I saw that moronic play. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Crip says, "Oh wait, Natural's on. My bad. Hold on, Natty.
Natty. What's up, Natty?
What's going on, Natty?
What's up, Natty?
Good.
We have no identity on offense, honestly. Like, I don't know if we want to be this Rams heavy run play action scheme or if we're just going to air it out most of the time. Like, I don't know what direction they're going to go.
I've said this before. If you guys go back, if you guys have the tape of the Tennessee Titans game and the way we ran the ball and the way we threw the ball there, that to me is the way Zach wants his offense to run. It was balanced. It was run the ball, pass it. It wasn't just pass it 500 times. That's the way I think Zach wants to do it. And that was really the only game that they were able to do that in. So I know that now you keep saying this all the time. What's the identity? That's what I think the identity is. That's what I think he wants to get to is a balanced attack. If you listen to what Zach has said, that's what he's trying to get to. And if you watch what they've tried, you don't have the offensive line, it's hard to do it. In that game, they had the offensive line, and Tennessee didn't get to Joe, and they actually created holes to run the ball. If you look at the game against Houston, where Brandon Allen was upright, we ran the ball a ton, and we also threw it as a balanced attack. The games we won where our offensive line actually worked, that's what we did. So that, to me, is what Zach wants to do, in my opinion.
Well, and I'll tell you one thing, too, though. It's kind of changing. It's not totally completely changing the subject here, but You know, when you look at Baltimore, the way we played against Baltimore, it was embarrassing. But
yes,
I said one thing when they drafted one guy, and that was J.K. Dobbins out of the Ohio State University. So if there's any Bucknuts out there, let's go. Natty, I think you're a Buckeye, ain't you?
No, I don't have a college team.
He's just pro.
No, I'm not blaming anybody. But you know what? He tore us up, and this is his first year. There are years to come with this kid. We've got to build up our, like Jeff was saying, you know, we've got to not only just our offensive line and be happy with that and think, oh, everything's going to be great because we'll put up 35 points a game. Well, if our defense is giving up 40 a game, and that's not helping us any. So, you know, he's going to be a Bengal killer, man, and we're going to have somebody to stop this kid soon because he will be the starter next year, in my opinion. And we've got to build from the inside out. Defensive line, offensive line, out, see what's next. If we have to take Jamar Chase, I'll take Jamar Chase. But that's only if we have to, because I didn't like taking John Ross.
Now, Anthony just said the only thing is Joe only signed a 4-year deal. That's all Joe could sign. It's a rookie deal. They all signed that. That's not just Joe. But you're all right. They got to fix it fast. That's
50-year option. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a rookie deal. But that's the thing. That's what Patrick Mahomes did. You sign these rookie quarterbacks to these deals, these 4 or 5 year deals with less money. You go win a Super Bowl then. Ben, what's going on? Welcome to the show.
Ben?
Guess you are new.
You must be a Bucknut, brother.
You just made Jeremy's day.
Come on, man. You're my new man now, Ben. You got to stick with it, PG.
If you want to get on the show on the live link, just go to the top of the chat. It's clicked on there, and you come on just like Natty did. So what's going on? What else, Natty? What else you got?
What do you think we should do about Gio, though?
As far as what?
Because I'm not gonna lie to you, man. P. Ryan looked pretty good in the snaps he played in, and if P. Ryan's a decent enough pass blocker, I honestly do think Gio is a bit of a replaceable running back.
What did the Ravens do to us? Did they run 3 running backs? Run 3 running backs. There's no rule saying you can't run 3 running backs.
Trayvon Williams looked pretty good too.
I mean,
and this kid hasn't got a chance.
You keep as much talent as you can. I mean, P-Ron showed he can play. Gio showed he can play. We know Mixon can play. So that's 2 more weapons that I think Zach should use next year. You know, so I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
I get where you're coming though, Natty, because we've got to sign these guys. We've got to re-sign them. Like we got WJ3. You know, he's up. We've got to sign him. There's a lot of players. Hubbard, he's coming up. We got to sign him. I mean, there's quite a few players that's going to hinder us a little bit in free agency. And I just hope
I got to answer this one real quick.
Go ahead.
Anthony says, right, but Joe might leave if it's not fixed since Brown is cheap. Okay.
Nah.
Have you guys ever seen any of the Bengals superstars leave? He pays them. AJ Green got paid. Carson Palmer got paid. Andy Dalton got paid.
Joe
Burrow will get paid.
I mean,
yeah. Joe Burrow will get paid. So, yeah, everybody, Mike Brown is cheap, but when it comes to his quarterbacks and his star players, he is not. He will pay him. That is not going to be a problem. I don't see it. I mean, unless Joe doesn't want to stay. That's the only thing. And I don't see Joe doing that. I just don't.
He's going to stick with us till the end. The only thing I see restricting us from another big free agency, and I don't know what Mike might think about this, but is the talent that we have now. Some of them are going to have to be re-signed, and depending on how much we offer WJ3 and the rest, it's going to impact what we do.
Look, if WJ3 costs too much money for us to be able to go get other stuff, there's other cornerbacks that are free agents. You can go get one that maybe not the cost you much, but it's still as good.
I see some taking a cornerback in the first round, and it's just
I don't see that happening. But the thing is, like I said, if you fix that defensive line, it makes your secondary better. So I'm not saying I don't want to sign Willie J3. I'm just saying
I love him.
He's great. I want to see him and Trayvon Waynes and Bell out there next year. I want to see all of them out there. But I don't think that if he costs too much money, just go get somebody else, because the point is you got to take your money and you got to fix that defensive line. You got to get pressure on the quarterback. You got to protect the quarterback.
Go ahead.
Well, as far as the whole Geno Atkins goes, and I agree with you, Jeff, about the whole William Jackson, if you can get a defensive line or an offensive lineman somewhere, go get them. But as far as Geno Atkins, I think, Natty, you said about should he stay or should he go? In my opinion, I think he should. I think they should just cut him.
They've already told him they're cutting him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
because he's 32 years old. Like, you shouldn't have to keep a guy around that long if you want to improve your team.
Now, Anthony's got another thing that he's been getting burned a lot. Well, another thing, if you get pressure on the quarterback and they can't stand back there for 10 seconds to throw the freaking ball, that helps the cornerbacks. Again, that's what I keep saying. You got to fix the offensive and defensive line. It fixes so much stuff. Sorry.
Jeff must be from Pittsburgh because he just stole everything I was about to say. But Anthony, you know what? WJ3, dude, he's a solid corner, man. And there's a lot of teams that have already come out and said they'd love to have him. There will be a line out the door for WJ3. I just hope he stays here. I hope he'll take a decent contract. I hope we don't have to tag him. I don't think he is a top corner in the league.
He's not top. No, that's why I don't think he's going to get a ton of money. I don't think it's going to be a problem.
But there's going to be a lot of teams that want him.
Go ahead, Natty.
I think he'll set the market because quarterback is a premium position. You maybe got like 10 to 15 guys in the league that are legit shut down corners, and everybody else is good. And the thing is we do need to address pass rush. But the problem is if you let WJ3 go, you're making another hole for yourself because who's going to replace him? Phillips?
My man. Right.
McKenzie? You want Sims there? Like, I think he is a priority. You need to re-sign him. Now the problem is,
I wasn't saying he wasn't a priority. I didn't say that. I'm just saying I don't think it's going to be a problem signing him. And if someone wants to go pay him shutdown corner money, then go ahead, because I think they could find another one in free agency for less money who could do what as good as what Willie J3 is doing. If you get pressure on that quarterback, that's the thing that changes that. Now, Ben's got a message here for you, Jeremy.
Yes, sir, Jeremy. I think Burrow is for sure loyal and thought the Mixon deal was a power move. What do you guys think about that deal? I do. I mean, you know what? It didn't bother me one bit.
Honestly, I think he took less money to stay here. It wasn't a Ezekiel Elliott deal. It wasn't a Christian McCaffrey deal.
Nope.
Joe Mixon, I think, wanted to stay here, and he got his money, but he didn't break the bank. So I think it was a good deal for both. To be honest, because that was one of the big talks in this last offseason was, do you sign AJ or do you sign Mixon? And I kept saying you got to sign Mixon because I said AJ hasn't played in 2 years at the time, and we don't know what he's older. Mixon is hitting his prime.
Yep. And look at the attitude, man. I mean, just look at Mixon. He's not from Ohio. He's not. He came here through the draft, and who's the biggest cheerleader on this team?
Mixon.
Joe Mixon, man. Who's up standing on the on the sidelines, up on the benches, swinging the towels around and throwing them up in the crowd? And Joe Mixon, that's the type of guy you want. And we didn't pay him because he sucked. He's top of being a cheerleader. He's also a bad man.
Just think how good he'll be if we get an offensive line where he can freaking run. He's good now. Just wait till he actually has holes. He doesn't have to make a cut in the backfield.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine how dominant this whole team can be when they get a defensive line and a couple pass rushers and an offensive line. Burrow will have all the time in the world to throw.
Right. It's just like Crown here. I've said this a million times on the show. You start from the lines. You move from the inside out. That's how you build a team. And you do that with Joe Burrow, with Joe Mixon, dude, we're going to be good. And I'm telling you, we're going to be good. But but it's got to be a good line. You got to go from one of the worst lines to one of the best lines, both sides. But that can be fixed in a year. It can be. It's, your defensive line, you already got DJ Reader. You got Lawson. You got Hubbard. So you need a couple more pieces to be able to put pressure in it. So the biggest thing to me is get a rotation. And you need that one big guy like Carlos Dunlap was that dude to come off the edge. We need to find that dude to come off the edge to get pressure on it. And then you have a rotation with them, and then you have Reader, and if they keep Daniels, have them come out the middle. It could be a lot different.
Yep. What you got on it, Natty?
I agree with Jeff. I mean, my personal opinion, we should do what the Browns do with their offense, where they're running like 2-3 running backs, and then they're just play actioning.
Right.
You take all that pressure off of Joe Burrow, you drop them back less, your offensive line stabilizes, and you're able to get a run going. Then Joe Burrow's not dropping back 50 times a game, and then you're basically controlling the clock. You're controlling the time of possession, and you're tiring out the defense and tiring them out because defenses today aren't really built to play the run. They're built more for the pass. But if you could do that, I think you ease Joe Burrow in. He gets a little more comfortable. That maybe the team wins a few more games than they're not supposed to.
I mean, next year's schedule is no joke. I mean, it's not going to be for a 4-win team. It's no joke. So I mean, it ain't going to be easy. But I mean,
this year was easy. That's why Brown went and spent all the money.
Yeah, well, he needs to spend the money.
NFC least.
Yeah, he needs to go. He needs to go spend the money again this next offseason.
Gonna have to. What was that, bud?
In the trenches is where they need to spend all that money.
There you go. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. That's right.
Because man, I tell you what, I like P. Ryan. Like he's a real effective back. Like he just hits the hole. Whereas sometimes Mixon, he gets stopped in the backfield because he gets a little too patient. He wants to jump around a little too much. P. Ryan just hits it, and that's why he's able to just pick up the. And I think P. Ryan and Mixon complement each other well. So I do like our backfield going into the next season.
I do too. Depending on what we decide to do with Gio, Travion Williams.
Is he a free agent?
He's got a chance. He's looked good.
Did I miss something? Is Gio free agent?
No,
I think we're playing trade bait games here. I think.
Okay, because as far as I know, Gio's under contract, so yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah,
draft, trade bait, whatever.
Yeah. I think we could get something good in return for him, maybe like a 3rd, 4th round pick, because a lot of teams are going to want Gio back there just pass blocking, just on the fact that he's able to pick up linebackers and pick up blitzes. I think he'll add something to another team, but I think right now we're good with him, P. Ryan, and Mixon.
Right.
So you're off the Gio train.
Well, I mean, if they trade him, I'm not gonna cry about it. But I mean, if I guess I agree with Jeff where he said you just got to keep gathering and collecting talent, and I think letting Gio go.
I mean, got to.
Yeah.
I mean, this year should tell you can never have enough talent because you never know who's going to get hurt because somebody's going to get hurt. It's football, so you got to have at least 1 or 2 guys behind that guy who can come in and play for however many games you need. So you can never have enough talent. There's a Facebook user. Do me a favor. Go to the YouTube channel, Sports of Strawberry Ice, subscribe, and comment there so your name pops up. We know who you are. But he or she says, what do you guys think about Darius Stills in the draft to help with the D-line?
I could see, picking him up if he's, if we're talking first round, it depends on where he or she's talking. If we're talking about our 5th pick, no.
But yeah. I mean, I like him, but he's not 5th pick. Second round, yeah. But I mean, I'm telling you, if Wade Davis I say Wade Davis, that's a Reds pitcher. Wyatt Davis, if he's there, I'm taking him.
Yep.
I am taking him. Anything else, Natty?
No, I'm good. I'll take my leave. Let someone else hop in.
All right, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Hey, thanks, Natty.
Go ahead, Mike. What were you going to say?
Oh, you're okay. I am a little bit jealous of one team, though. they had a really good offense line. I didn't really – I watched a lot of videos of the Kansas City Chiefs. Their line is dominant. So if they could get some guys like that, I'd tell you the Bengals could be dominant too. So
that's the thing. Everybody talks about Kansas City's. Everybody always talks about Kansas City's offense. Their offense is this. Their offense is that. Okay. Well, they didn't win a Super Bowl until they got a dominant defense and a defensive line. And it still comes. They can have all the toys and all this stuff they want. They got to have the offensive line and they got to have the defensive line. Every team that has a shot at winning this Super Bowl has a very good to great offensive or defensive line. Just go watch the games this weekend. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. And if the Bengals don't fix that, which is, like I said, it's very fixable. I mean, to me, our defense this year should have played a lot better than it did with the guys that we signed. And to me, that's on Armadillo. And that's what does scare me about keeping him. If we get better players and we get more guys, I'm not confident he knows how to do it yet because of the scheme that he said he wanted to play. He wanted to play a 3-4 this year. And he never played it. I mean, I don't remember him ever playing it. Do you guys? I mean, did I miss something?
No.
Yeah, we're talking in the single digits of percentages of 3-4 this year. Yeah. I think I'd have to go back and watch, but that'd be my guess.
Yeah, and like I said, and the performance that the defense put out there on the last game of the year was god awful. That's where I'm just like, I mean, I hope Zach says he has, say so on the coaching staff, which is great. He should. It's his coaching staff. But I pray he's right because I have not seen anything from Armadillo in the last 2 years to give me any hope. Now, Zach, as far as his offense goes and what he's trying to do, I have seen some hope as to what I think he wants to do. Armadillo, I haven't. And if you guys know, I'm an optimistic Bengals fan. I try to see the optimistic part in this. And I just haven't seen it with Armadillo. I can't think of one game in the 2 years where you know what? Armadillo, he had a good game plan. You lost a 21 freaking point lead to the Colts.
Yeah.
21 points. They scored 24 straight points against us. He should have been fired there.
On that prevent, or was it man-to-man they played, or was it prevent?
I don't know what the hell it was. That was the one where they'd run down the tight end or wide receiver would go right down the middle of the field. It would be a slant route. He'd stand there for like 5 seconds. Hey, I'm here. Oh, okay, good. He threw the ball. And Bengals like, oh, hey, somebody should cover that guy. I'm like, no, nah. I'm like,
it was good old-fashioned 4-3 zone defense. That is exactly what he plays. He backs off, and that's what we do every game. And it seems like we've done that forever. It seemed like Marvin Lewis done the same thing. We'd get ahead, we start playing conservative. And
that's what drove me nuts about Marvin. Marvin would okay, all right, we got to do our job and do a job, but don't mess up. No, do what you did to get the lead. Do the same thing when you got, like Joe said it in the interview with Cowhead. He goes, we scored 21 points. He goes, but the NFL, you got to keep your foot on the gas. And he's right. That you got to keep your foot on the gas, offense and defense. You got to go after them all the time. Don't be scared. Be aggressive. Go get them. Go hit somebody. Take them out before they take you out. That's what football is. It's not back up going, oh, okay, you only gave 5 yards up. Don't give an inch up. That's how you play football. That's how you play winning football. Sorry.
Yeah, and my thing with that is I think Lou, if we would have fired him, I think that would have excited Bengal fans and gave them a little extra hope.
Yes.
Because that display, the last game, which is the game that's supposed to propel you, like I've said, into next season, was a damn embarrassment. And he should be embarrassed. I don't care who you have out there playing. It doesn't matter. Everybody has issues and whatever. But what about Colin Cowherd kissing Joe Burrow's ass tonight? I'm sorry, I got to use the word because it's the truth. But watching that video, after everything Cowherd has said about Burrow in the past, then once Burrow set the rookie record for passing yards in 3 games, oh, he does have the it factor. He is it. He's it for the Bengals. He is it.
He compared him to Tony Romo, which, I mean, Tony Romo is a good quarterback. Joe Burrow is way better than Tony Romo.
Yeah, and this is my thing. also in that interview, he asked Joe, once you got hurt, in a second in your mind, did you just think?
Wait. Let's clarify. He was talking about when he was at Ohio State and he broke his hand. That's what he's talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah, good.
Exactly.
Just to clarify what you're
saying. Yeah. And he said, did you think about just, becoming a coach or whatever? Did you just give it up? Whatever. And Burrow's like, not for 1 second. And I got to tell you something. I respect Joe Burrow for saying that. Because if I were Joe Burrow, I would have said, hey, Colin, every dumbass thing you've ever said in your life on this show, one reason you're not on any major, you're on FS1 now. Did you think about maybe, becoming a cashier at a grocery store? Maybe giving up, maybe what kind of Colin Cowherd says one thing 1 second when he gets somebody on, he's a Stephen A. Smith right up there, 1A, 1B, man. Just made me sick.
Yeah, between Colin and Stephen A. Smith, they have to come out with the stupidest comments, I swear.
All right, I'm going to get to Anthony's comment here. Lou's been dreaming of the Ravens defense because we don't have the linebackers to run a 3-4. Okay.
We drafted them.
Was exactly who they drafted who Lou wanted to draft.
Exactly. For the 3-4.
Lou thought that he could run it with them. So again, Lou should have been fired. You just proved my point, Anthony. They drafted them and they signed Josh Bynes.
And Josh Bynes is for a defense.
Anthony, I'm not yelling at you. I'm not yelling at you, but I'm just like, what drives me nuts.
Just fun football talk.
Yeah, they even said they were going to do a 3-4 in the beginning of the year, but they never done it. So
that's why they went and drafted 2 linebackers in the draft, and they signed another one. That was the point.
Oh, Bobby K, man, I gotta disagree. Gotta disagree.
Well, that's because he kisses, the Ravens' butt, the Ratbird's butt. That's why
he does it too much for me. Too much to handle.
Bungle Fever. I love how Burrow still refers to them as the team up north. Yep, Buckeye for life. Yeah, he did say that. Well, I was surprised he said the team up north. Then he said Michigan. I was actually surprised he even said the word. I thought he just said the team up north. But yeah, it's just my biggest thing is that I've got so many reasons and so many facts and so many things this year of why Lou Amarillo should not be, or excuse me, Armadillo should not be the defensive coach. It doesn't matter. They drafted these players to run this system. He didn't run, and they signed him, and he didn't run it. So, that's what's driving me nuts.
Are you happy that they kept Lou, Mike? What's your feeling on it?
Oh, I'm more than upset about that. Lou should have been gone like towards the end of the year. So, but in my opinion, it's Zach's call. We can't do nothing about it. We just have to move on.
I'll put it, it's Zach's call, and if it doesn't get any better, Zach's gonna be fired because he came out and said it's his. It's he's in charge of it. I'm like, all right, you're in charge of keeping this guy. He's gonna get you fired because they did what he wanted. They did what he wanted. They got the players he wanted, and he still didn't run what he wanted to run.
No.
And the times were when they actually did run it and they actually played up on the wide receivers, we actually played pretty good for the short bit of time he did it, but it wasn't very often.
Man to man, strike up, jam him at the line, give the defense a little bit of time because our defensive line sucked, so you had to give them some time to get back there. Jam these guys. Don't let them run around the field free in zone defense and look for open holes, man.
It would drive me so crazy. I would sit there and watch the TV, and the cornerbacks would be up on it, and they get ready, and right before they said hike, they'd back off 5 yards. Like, where are you going? Especially when it's 3rd and 4. Where are you going? All they had to do is run a slant, 5 yards, first down.
A cornerback should never be behind the sticks. in third down situations, as far as I'm concerned, unless it's at the end of the game and you're just kind of letting them do their thing and run the clock out. But a cornerback behind the sticks, when it's 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, and they're 3-4 yards off the sticks, all the guy's got to do is just run a little quick slant. Boom, there it is. There's your free yardage. Thank you, guys. Come again. We'll see you next year.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, Bob K says Burrow is good, which is why you can't afford him to become the next Andrew Luck. Get him a line. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Jack or Bob.
I don't know if you guys noticed this year, but I've seen it more times than it should happen, that where the Bengals have them in a 3rd down and 8 or 3rd down and 9 or 3rd and 5, and they do these like slant passes or just any kind of pass. They just stand there, or defensive players stand there, wait for the guys to get 3 or 4 yards, and then they go up and tackle them. Why do that?
That's because they backed off of them 5 yards. They don't have the angle to go get them. By the time they start running to the direction they're there, you don't have look, I've never been a cornerback, but coverage is all about angles, and tackles are about angles. You got to get the angle on the guy. And if he's, you're back here and you're back here and he cuts off and goes this way, you got to go like that instead of following him, I mean,
right.
I hope, like I said, I pray that Zach is right. I really do, but I do not see, especially when they're getting rid of their offensive and defensive line coaches, which those both I agree with both that. So if you admit that those two should be fired, that's what I want to ask Zach. What has Armadillo done to make you think he should be your defense coordinator, that he is going to get you there? Because you did everything he asked you to do. You got him all the players that he wanted, and his defense sucked. I mean, I want to know what Zach's, I will never find that out, but that's one question I wish the reporters would ask. What has Armadillo done to keep his job? That's a simple question,
The only game that Armadillo had, and everybody knows what game that is, it was against the Steelers game. They did really good, but what about the other games,
Right. I mean, that's what, again, I keep going back to the Colt game because that one just drove me absolutely nuts. On the Steelers game, Squealers game, he kept getting pressure and he kept going after them. And the cornerbacks played up. They didn't back off every freaking time. And when we had the lead, he cranked up the pressure even more and went after him even more. So I'm like, if it worked then, and that works, why don't you do that all the time? I mean, it's kind of like Zach Taylor when we're down 17 points in the last game of the season. You're going to throw it on 3rd down. Fine, throw it on 3rd down, but you better be ready to go for it on 4th down. Why are you not being aggressive? That's the one thing that I did not like that Zach, which he went for it. Which I think he went for it on 4th down. How many times this year? A ton. And I did love that about Zach. Zach would go for it on 4th down. Why didn't you do it in the last game of the year?
And we were
17 points down.
Yeah, we were like 9 for 9 or 10 for 10 at one point on 4th down. I mean,
I don't know. That whole last game, the whole last game, I think the whole team just mailed it in. We're done. We're going to go to Cancun. I mean, that's the only thing I think of it because nobody showed up to do anything.
My question is when they were perfect on 4th down, whose call was it? The Burrows that he's used to doing that at LSU, or was it Zach's?
It's Zach's call.
Zach's.
It's Zach's. The only call Burrow gets is he can audible out of a play.
There ain't
no Zach would not give Burrow a call. Shoot, do you think we should go for it? No. If he's asking the quarterback, he doesn't need to be the damn head coach. Yep. It's Zach's call.
Now, eventually, Burrow will get into that Peyton Manning type of role and kind of be able to choose between some plays. But his rookie year this year, no.
But I don't even think Peyton Manning picked if they went for it on 4th down or not. He just got to pick the plays.
No, that would have been the coach. I mean, that's and our defense. You can go back to when we played the Ravens the first game. We'd already gave up almost 1,000 yards passing and almost 650 yards rushing. I mean, the whole year. We had about maybe 4 good games on defense. That's all I can really think of. Maybe 5. If somebody wants to correct, that's great. But we did not have a great defense consistently at all for any games, to be honest.
Bob K's got a question for you there, Jeremy. It's an Ohio State question.
What is it with Ohio State quarterbacks not excelling at the NFL level? When is the last time an Ohio State quarterback has been good? I'll give you that, man. You can go back to Terrell Pryor. He wasn't that great. Turned into a receiver. It was decent. JT Barrett never really turned into much. Cardo Jones was a third-string quarterback for the Buckeyes, just so you know.
Cardo Jones, he was the one I thought was going to be good, but his senior year, or not senior year, his junior year, just was – they never could figure out what kind of – it never worked for him as it did in that championship run. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, he won. Yeah, once that championship run was over, he was done.
Yeah, and he had a cannon for an arm, and he had touch in those games he did, and then it was like you caught lightning in a bottle or something.
Yeah, but for Fields, let me tell you something. If we didn't have Burrow, I'd take Fields in a minute. I've watched every single game this kid has played. He's had a couple tough games. We were also down about 20-some players each game, which we're going to be again Monday, which sucks, but it is what it is. There's no excuses. The Buckeyes want to play. This kid's tough as hell. I don't know if you saw the picture of him getting hit, but somebody took a snapshot just as he was getting hit in the ribs, and he was sideways. And it's unbelievable. He come back and played in that game, and we still stomped Clemson like we did. And actually, that's another thing I just wanted to mention for the Buckeye people that might be tuning in or might watch this later, that my boy, let me see, Luke Farrell, our tight end, said last Friday's semifinal win against Clemson was like a huge weight lifted off of his shoulders and the Buckeyes, because it was time for us to get revenge on Clemson. We could not afford to lose 2 in a row to Clemson, and then the committee going in, just like they will with Cincinnati and the Bearcats losing, and saying, okay, well, this team can't beat Clemson. We are, no matter what happens in the championship game.
I got my dog out. Go, keep talking, all right? I'll be back in a second.
You're good. But we may end up getting blown out. I don't know. If we're down, God, what I'm reading, we're down a whole position group as of now. I don't know what's going to happen, but from there on, if you're a Buckeye fan, you just got to be proud to be from Ohio and of what we did to Clemson after what they did to us last year. Wouldn't you agree, Mike?
Yeah. I mean, just ask the UC players, when we played Ohio State, we've literally got our butts whooped, but at the time we just didn't have the players and stuff, and that's not making excuses. Ohio State's better, so, but us playing Georgia, that even though we lost, it showed a lot. And I think just watching that game tells me that the Bearcats football program is getting a lot better than what it used to be. So just keep the faith, Bearcat fans, in Ohio State.
Yeah, you see, I don't know if you guys saw Bob K's, or Jack, his name's Jack, comment. He said Haskins might be worse than Jamarcus Russell.
Oh, no.
I don't like that. That's kind of rough.
Jamarcus Russell had a bad attitude. He was a bad teammate. He was fat.
Drinking problem.
Come on.
And he was the number 1 pick overall.
Yeah.
Haskins wasn't, so.
No, and Haskins is a good kid, and he's going to work hard, and hopefully he'll be a good backup for somebody.
He'll get another shot for somewhere. Bengals interview. Yeah. Yep. O-line coach from Detroit today.
Yep.
You are correct, Matthew. And Anthony, let's see here. What do you got? I don't think it's as bad after Gene Smith said, or I don't think it is as bad as Gene Smith says it was. Wasn't significant. Talk about the ribs, I think, for Fields.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the players being out. Either way. So. Yeah, whatever.
Maybe he's talking about the players, because I actually had that quote of buck nuts.
But still, the ribs, that's not something easy. That's not something fun to play with.
Heck no.
But he's going to do it, and the Buckeyes want to play, and we're going to play. And like I said, if we got to put the Water Boys on the field, we will. They don't have to be doused with Gatorade at the end of the game, all right? Once we win, he goes shake that hand. That's good enough. We'll take the trophy home with us, and 5 years ago, we'll put it right next to that one, and then maybe next year we'll just add another one to it.
Yeah, Anthony said he's talking about the players, not Fields.
Yeah. Well, there's been reports that we've got like groups out, such as linebackers, offensive line. So, but it doesn't matter.
Are they actually sick? Or are they just positive, or were they just around somebody that was?
They never really want to tell you, but
yes. So how come Ohio State keeps having? How come Ohio State keeps having all these issues and nobody else does?
Because the Big Ten makes you sit out 21 days and all these crazy rules. That's stupid.
That kind of brings me to my point. What the hell? The Big Ten is still trying to justify their stupid ass decision to not play at the beginning of the year. They're still trying to do it, and they're hurting their only team's chance to win a national championship. That doesn't make any freaking sense to me, especially when you got all these colleges are crying poor because we don't have no money coming in because students aren't there, yada, yada, yada. Well, if you win a national championship, that might bring you some more money in, and that will go to the Big Ten. So why wouldn't you do what you can to help them win? Or, why do you make it? I don't know.
Fact of the matter is, Ryan Day said, doesn't matter about those players. We have plenty of players to go play on Monday night. We don't want to reschedule. There's no excuses. We're going to go in with whoever we got, and we're going to bring everything we got. And if it's not enough, it's not enough. But if it is, how great would that be? But, man, to go 2-0 on Alabama, that'd make my new year right there.
Yeah, I think Jeremy might be running around his house in Alabama naked, like, woohoo!
You ain't kidding.
We're going streaking, boys. We're going streaking.
Well, that's right. Come on, honey.
I do agree with Crown Apple, though. I've seen his comment that the Bengals should hire Willie Anderson as an offensive line coach.
Oh, I like it.
But he's never been a coach. I think Willie Anderson is a great player, but he's never been a coach.
I think he could teach some players how to play the game.
You don't know that. Great players.
We don't know about anybody, though.
I know, but statistically, or whatever, how you want to say it, great players usually don't make great coaches. They don't, because they get pissed off because these guys can't do what you did. So yes, he could be. I'm not trying to squash your idea, but they should definitely consider it. But I'm not saying yes, go get him for sure, because that has happened so many times. And the thing is, they can't get this wrong. This is the only two coaching jobs that they are, or coaching jobs they are switching. And they can't get it wrong. Yeah, I would rather get nothing against Willie Anderson, but if you have a proven offensive line coach out there, I'd rather get him than Willie. And I love Willie. There's nothing against him. But if you're only changing two coaches, you cannot get them wrong. Just my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. But when you look, my God, we threw Zach Taylor in there out of 1 year in the NFL or whatever, 2 years in the NFL, and he's our head freaking coach.
Right. That's why you can't make the same mistake.
Well, but we kept him, so I could see something like Willie Anderson with his attitude, the way he is as a human being. He just seems like the type of guy that you would respect, look up to, want to listen to. And I don't know, but I don't. Offensive line coach, we should have got rid of Lou. We should have got rid of all of them.
Yeah, but we didn't, and this is what we have to work with. So that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about here now and the actual facts of what we have to work with. We have to work with. We got to find an offensive line coach. We got to find a defensive line coach. You got to get those right. And like I said, I'm not saying Willie's a good coach, bad coach. I have no idea. But if this guy from Detroit and is a proven coach, I'll take that over. Well, he's Willie Anderson. He was a great offensive lineman. Doesn't mean he's gonna be a great coach. That's all I'm saying.
Did you guys hear the quote this week about Willie?
What's up?
A Hall of Fame. Now, what do they call those guys? Voter, I guess.
Consideration.
Yeah.
He got considered. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. He should have been in a long time ago. But said, he's in his mind, with his vote, he should definitely make it to the Hall of Fame. I don't know if anybody heard that.
How many times did they say that about Ken Anderson back in the 80s and 90s? Oh, he's getting closer. And then he got farther away. Then people forget about him.
Now he's gone.
I hope Willie should be in. Ken Riley should be in. Ken Anderson.
Riley should be in there too.
Yeah. Ken Riley, that's what I just said. Ken Riley should be in. I mean, I can list the guys who should be in. And that's where we've talked about this at the beginning of the year. This is where the Bengals and Mike Brown need to have a ring of honor. They need to bring these guys back, and they need to get them out in public to everybody outside of Cincinnati to remind people how good these guys were. You know, the only reason Anthony Munoz is in the Hall of Fame is because he is the greatest left tackle to ever play the game. That's it.
That's
if
true.
If he wasn't, he wouldn't be in there because he played for the Bengals because we don't promote our former players. Yep. And that is the biggest problem and biggest reason I think that we don't have more than one Hall of Famer in there, because it's not like we don't have guys that aren't legit to be in there. Ken Riley is fifth in interceptions right now. It is absolutely a crock of crap that he's not in. He was third he was either third or leading when he retired in 1983. It's 2021. The man passed away. He should have been in there.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's just it fires me. It's so stupid. And it's just because they retire and we're the Bengals and we're this terrible organization. We've never been good. Bull crap. We have been good and we have had great players, and they need to be represented in the Hall of Fame.
It's definitely frustrating.
And Willie needs to come back and sign a one-day contract and be, completely retire as a Bengal. And we need to make a ring of honor, like you said. And that's actually what's being brought up with this new deal to revamp the stadium in 2025. And that's something
they can do right now. Right now. Yeah, paint a stripe orange and you put their names up there with their number. You could do that.
Whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have Anthony Munoz back for 1 year.
Yeah.
Better than Bobby Hart.
Oh.
Yeah. I think Anthony Munoz is in the 60s, so he might not be. He might not be as good. I don't know. All right, boys. I think we're gonna head this thing up and rolling out of here because my Bearcats, or I should say mine and Mike's Bearcats, are playing tonight, and they're gonna get their so they're gonna get their second. I'll try this again. Their third win of the year. First win in 5. They're gonna win tonight. They're gonna change. And like I said, I appreciate all you guys in Bearcat Country that watched the show yesterday. I really do. But if you guys are watching the show on any of these on Bengals Nation, Bearcat Country, do me a favor, go to the YouTube channel and watch it. I had, like I said, 200 something views on Melvin Levitt yesterday, which is awesome. I'm glad you guys enjoyed. I do it for you guys. That is great. And it was all on Bearcat Country. And like I said, I only got like 60 or 70 on the YouTube channel. So if you guys can just watch it on the YouTube channel, that would be great. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, brings you to the Facebook groups that we all help run. They are Bengals Nation, Bearcats Country, Reds Country, Cyclones Country, and we don't run this one, but we are live streaming on it, is Ohio State Bucknuts. Now, I'll be pulling the sound off this, put it on the podcast later on tonight, so make sure you guys go listen to it, like, rate, and review. Give me a 5-star review. I'm on BeanPod, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. And then you can follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and me and this moron right here do some silly TikToks that you guys might like. We're kind of crazy. YouTubers, like I said, please watch the show there. Like, subscribe. I'm at 794 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 1,000 as fast as I can. I appreciate all you guys. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors about Strawberry Ice. Jeremy D, let us roll on out of here.
We will roll on out. So a couple quick ones coming in. Just want to say, yes, the Bengals also need a fan fest. I do believe that, like the Reds. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Right now with COVID, we can't do any of that crap.
Can't do nothing. But we've never even done it in the past, so it would be something to look forward to. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, the Bengals did. Yeah. The offensive line coach from the Lions. Yep. You got in a little late there, KB, but it's all good, brother.
Yep.
Because we will see you tomorrow.
Either.
And as always, I got one thing to tell you, and I always want you to remember that you don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati, so act like it. Who day? Let's kill this draft, keep watching the show, and let's do the damn thing.
Who day?
Oh, my bad.
Who day? And that's just sports, baby. See ya!